Alec Peirce at the ranch. Here's a tip for you guys around the farm, the hobby farm, the real farm, whatever it happens to be. And particularly if you have a welder and you're kind of handy. I built this. Now you can actually buy these, but you know, they're not cheap, $500 or $600. You can build it for maybe $100, and maybe even better than the ones that you buy. It's real simple. Tractors have a loader. Let me move this out of the way. You see, a loader. Just that simple. It's obviously a bucket, a blade of some sort. And it's really handy. You know, it's really handy for picking up sand and gravel, all kinds of stuff. The problem is that it has sides on it, on each end. So if you're trying to pick up something long, or you're trying to pick up a bunch of sticks, maybe you just knocked down a tree, you've cleaned up all the brush, you got a big pile of brush, and it's not in the right place, you want to move it. Or this device is also good for manure. So anything that is difficult to pick up with the loader, you really need to have teeth, long teeth sticking out, sort of like a forklift, but a whole bunch of teeth is even better. So you can pick up logs, you can pick up a whole bunch of brush, grass, manure, anything like that, you can pick it up. Well, that's easy to do if you have one of these devices. Let me show you exactly how it works. Now, this is made of heavy steel, and that's better. The ones that you buy, I've seen them, they're okay, and they work. They're not a universal fit. If you see one of these in the catalog and it says universal fit, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because every loader is a little bit different. And I found that out the hard way. I bought one and I tried to fit it. And it was going to be more trouble to make the one I bought to fit my loader than it was to take it back and make one from scratch. So that's exactly what I did. And as I was going to say, make sure you use heavy steel. So the teeth on this are solid steel 1-inch square bars, solid steel 1-inch square bars, about 36 feet long, about 36 inches long, 3 feet long. And then you only need 6 teeth, 1-inch square steel, and then 2 pieces of steel. One piece is an angle iron, and this is 1/4-inch steel, and the other piece is the lip. I'm going to show you how that works. A couple of pieces of chain, a turnbuckle, and you've got your manure, brush, grass. We used to lift logs, 6, 7, 8 foot long logs, and so on. Let me show you how this works. Just give me a minute to get this organized. So here we go. I'm going to try to describe very quickly, it's easy, how this works. And again, this is going to be custom made to fit your loader. There's an umbrella over there, Kevin, if you need an umbrella. Anyway, so it'll be custom made to fit your loader. So the dimensions will change. The basic idea won't change, but the dimensions will. Okay, so now depending on the length, the width, if you like, of your loader will determine how many teeth. I used 6 teeth. They're about 14, 15 inches apart, which seemed pretty good to me. You want this to be such that any water or loose sand or dirt and so on falls through. This is not a bucket, it's teeth. So I used 6 teeth, and as I mentioned earlier, they're 1-inch square solid steel bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And then you need a piece of angle iron. I just used angle iron just to make it a bit stronger. That's all. It doesn't have to be angle iron, but I thought that was better. If you use angle iron, you can weld it on the entire angle on each way so it's strong. This has to be strong. It's going to get abused. Trust me. You'll be using this so much you're going to end up abusing it, so make it strong. So a piece of angle iron runs along the top. Each of those 6 teeth go into the angle iron and they're welded, firmly welded. Okay? Make sure they're all straight. Tack it first, make it all straight. And then, this is the important part. You see right down here, there's another piece of flat steel. It's heavy steel as well, 3/16 or 1/4, whichever you want, flat steel. And you can see this welded onto the bars, right across, all right, parallel to the angle iron. However, you can also see that it's bent. That's right, you actually have to bend it. It's not a 90-degree angle. It's, in my particular case, it's only about 17 to 20 degrees. That angle depends on your loader. So this angle right there, you see where my fingers are going? That angle right there is the same as this angle right here, you see? Now you're starting to catch on. This edge, front edge of my loader is going to fit right into there tightly, okay? So this bend on this will depend on your loader, so do that. And then lastly, once you have that constructed, that's the hard part, then you have to hold this on somehow. You can't just sit it on there and it won't stay. So then you have to hold it on. So back here at the back, you need to put a good solid weld on a good solid ring, and then a piece of chain and a turnbuckle, just like this, just that easy. And then make a bracket. And again, this bracket will be built for your loader. I'm going to show you in just a moment where that bracket fits, and then I'll show you exactly how it has to be done. So now I'm going to pick this up and put it onto the tractor, and that's actually pretty easy. All you do is pick it up. I'm going to try to show you here if I can. It's a bit heavy. You pick it up like so, lay it down like so. You see, it goes underneath the bucket. And then you pick this up and hook it onto the loader. Like that. You see that? Now you understand why this angle matches the lip of your loader. Okay? Now, I did use this a lot, and I found out that this is the weak spot because there's a lot of weight on these teeth. So right along here, this is a weak spot. So make sure this is welded really well. You can actually put extra brackets. I put an extra piece of steel on top because they were starting to break, and make sure this weld right here is extra strong. You could even put a little wider strip on there if you wanted to. So now the loader, the teeth are in place. Okay, we're going to stop for a minute, and I'll show you how I lock it in place so you can use it. This is not difficult. I'll explain it very simply, and then you have to play with your own loader and see how it works. But now what happens is you attach a chain. You see here? The chain attaches to that piece of angle iron, at the back of the angle iron. And the chain doesn't have to be long, 18 inches long. The chain comes back and goes into a turnbuckle. You have to have a turnbuckle. Now don't get one of those cheap turnbuckles that you can pick up at the Home Depot for $6. Get a real turnbuckle, solid steel turnbuckle, not one of they have turnbuckles and they crimp around the screw, but it spreads. Get a good solid turnbuckle. And then this is the other bracket you have to make, but it's really quite simple. It's just a piece of iron, just bent, and put a hole on this side, the bracket, the hole on this side right here. Can you see that, Kev? And a hook on the front to fit again into your loader. So this is where this will custom fit your loader. Now I fastened a turnbuckle on this top edge with a pin and a cotter pin. So I can take that pin out, watch now, take that pin out of there, turnbuckle falls free, you see? And then that sits right there, just like that. Now you'll notice that, again, I custom made this. I made the hook, and then I put a piece of that 1 inch square, this is actually 3/4 inch square steel inside, so it had a really good solid grip on my bucket. You see, it doesn't move. That's what you need to do. All right, so when you get that in place, now take your turnbuckle, bring it back up, put the pin back through the turnbuckle, having trouble finding the hole here. There we go. Put the circlip, the pin back in there. Now it's on there solidly, but it's loose. So that's where the turnbuckle comes in. So all you need to do now is just tighten it up. And that draws it up tightly, and it's on there snugly. So now the teeth will not come off. Now after you do all this and you go out and you work for 2 or 3 minutes, stop, tighten these up again, because it does tend to work a little bit loose. But now I think you guys can see, Kevin, come over to the front again. You guys can see how useful this is. Now look, you see, now you can pick up logs. You can pick up rocks. You can put a bunch of logs along. If you have a big pile of brush that you want to burn, but you have to move it first, this is so much better. You can't pick up brush with a bucket very well, but with these teeth, it's amazing what you can pick up. Half a tree and all the brush and everything else on it. So a lot of the guys use these for manure as well, because you pick up a big scoop of manure and it all breaks up, and you see my small manure pile back here, because you want it all mixed up and spun around. That does a good job of that as well. So there you go, quick and easy. I don't think I've got $50 invested, 2 or 3 hours of time. It probably took me longer to get it adjusted to fit my bucket than it actually took to build it, because that's really important that it fits really well. And it's amazing, the load. If you've got this tight, I've only got about an inch and a half overlap on the front of the bucket, on the leading lip, but that's plenty, and the turnbuckle's tight, it's really strong. Anyway, I don't know if that's a new idea or a good idea. It might be helpful to you. I hope it is. Okay, talk to you real soon. I got to go move some brush. Okay, Kev, bye-bye.